Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the 23rd of August, and more or less we had quite an exuberant gap up all the way to the 16,600. And my idea was to keep a relatively bearish view, but that relatively bearish view was not good enough because out into the gap up, massive put side IV crash. Mostly that happens because a lot of people who are carrying long put options, as soon as the view goes so terribly against them in the morning, they dump them. So the price really goes down like anything. And at that point, I had a relatively bearish view. But that being said, the puts that I entered at about 33, the 16,400, they rocketed way out of control. And as I speak, they're trading at about 90 rupees at 10:55 in the morning. Now, there's a very good chance that they lose a lot of that value. And towards the close of today, we closed till at about 16,500 or so. At least that's what I'm working with. Will end up happening up till the expiry, wherein we might have random spikes, but we will close quite close to 16,500. But at the same time, for my trade, which opens and closes today, I cannot afford to sit in an unlimited sea of pain, and I have to take an exit before I'm reaching about 2% of capital, because beyond that it will just be a desperation situation and it's not something I can afford. And while taking a 2% or a slightly under 2% loss can be painful, 4% loss will be far more painful. At least with the 2% loss, you'll be like stuck to your plan at least, and in a disciplined manner. When it didn't work out for you, you exited. So all being said and done, it was just one of those days. Gap ups always crash IV, and a big sell off from gap up will always be very painful to deliver. And all that being said, I hope you had a good trading day, and I will catch you tomorrow. I think today's video is going to be quite late. Ravi is traveling, so it should be up quite late. But I hope you had a good day. I'll catch you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.
Want to meet like-minded traders and discuss option strategies, adjustments and more? Just type in Discuss Nifty in your Telegram search box and join the friendly trader community.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Had entered my position at around 9:25 or so, and the issue here is that my orders were stuck in validation pending. So during entry, I got some pretty bad entries at different times. So that put me at a close to 3 point negative right at the entry, and perhaps time to really start reconsidering my broker. So if you do have suggestions, please leave them in the comments, because Zerodha is starting to cost me now. And that being the case, we've opened gap up with quite a lot of rigor. I have a bearish stance into this gap up, mostly because there is now no great sentiment as far as global sentiment is concerned to take out our recent highs. So I'm selling the 16,650 call, which I have a relatively bearish view. I've sold the 16,400 put to strangle. So this is my range for the day, and I'm expecting for this expiry that will dilly-dally, but eventually will expire closer to 16,500 rather than higher. So that is the view that I'm working with for now, and we'll keep you posted. As of now, Infi looking really strong today, and IT in general, the strength continues. Perhaps people thought that the news of IT department summoning Salil Parekh would do some negative stuff to Infi, but not at all the case. We're still in green, TCS as well, so IT looking good, and Bank Nifty after the gap up is taken a slight dip, but IT looking strong as of now. Today, if it's a green day at close, then I'll be rolling over my monthly covered call positions, and I'll be booking a lot of these positional trades today. So HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, ITC, all of this I will book and roll forward. I'll keep you posted. Time is 9:37. Okay, so it seems like after the gap of Bank Nifty being sold into, but IT is very strong and a good chance that Bank Nifty gets bought before 35,000. Something to note though is the kind of cost that hedging is incurring. My hedges in just about 30 minutes of the trade have lost close to 1.7 points. Like my hedges are losing me 85,000 already. It's 950, and obviously the rest of my position isn't offsetting whatever I have paid for my hedges. So that is exactly why I've been keeping my sizing a little bit lower and trying to limit the amount of hedging benefit that I take, because at least that way I'm not paying such a exorbitant cost, and with fewer points also I'm able to turn some kind of a profit on that sizing at least. Here the thing is, as the market moves around, I might have to adjust at different points for risk in either direction. That is, my hedges will continue to lose. So the reason today I've kept my sizing relatively larger is after the IV spike that we saw on Friday, and the prices at which we opened today. I'm expecting a potential further fall off in IV, which is why I've kept my sizing larger. And generally, fall off in IV should benefit the closer position more. But all that being said and done, still very expensive hedges. And yeah, we'll keep you posted. Time is almost 10 o'clock. And so far, it's been a situation where it's just the strength in IT and versus the weakness in basically the entire market. Okay, having a mildly bearish view wasn't anywhere close to being good enough, because there are two things here. So once you gap up, right? When you gap up, IV always crashes. So you have an IV crash, and then after you start making a down move, the puts that have lost all their value, basically people who have carried puts over the weekends that will dump them in the morning. So put prices crash, and then into the down move, puts really go up quite a lot in price. So that being the case, close to now 7 points down, and the max I can probably give up from here before I have to throw the position out the door is probably another 2.5, 3 points. So at that point, roughly about 5.5, 6 lakh mark to market, I'll just take the exit and call it a loser, because I think to begin with, the day would not have had the best risk reward to trade. And regardless, now though, with the IV spike, there is potentially quite a fall off that we can see if we continue to consolidate here. My idea will be, in case I'm ditching the intraday trade, I will convert this into a positional trade with better hedging, because the view is more or less the same, that we will trade around 16,500 all the way to the expiry. But yeah, I think despite having a bearish view, just because of the put expansion, the position is now in a 4-point market loss. We'll keep you posted. Time is just about 10 o'clock. Okay, the time is 10:30, and doesn't look like today is going to be that day. Just exited out of everything more or less into this slide. And yeah, I think today's trade backfired. More or less, the idea was, okay, we gap up, we'll have a slight dip probably till Friday's close, get bought back from there. But the entire day kind of sat into the kind of IV spike that was taking place on the puts. The view was fine, that having a bearish view was not good enough, and was not anticipating the kind of spike that would happen in put options. But all said and done, I think I'm fine with it. Like finally, at the end of the day, it cost me about 11 points, and I guess not much can be done in that situation. And more or less into this, regardless of the view, you have to keep a strict exit criteria, which is why I exited the moment I was approaching about 1.5% on margin, because you don't know where this goes. It might be very possible that we do all kinds of nonsense finally towards monthly close towards 16,500, but you don't know what happens today, and the life of the trade begins and ends today. So cannot think about what will happen down the line, what can happen down the line. Instead, the smarter thing is set a mark to market stop loss and get out. So yeah, quite a big stop loss. Most of it had to come from the fact that, with a gap up and a big sell off, the kind of spike in IV will absolutely throw the position out of sync, mainly because the calls really won't be giving up as much value as what the puts will be gaining. So yeah, that's the end of the trading day, and I will catch you tomorrow. Have a great trading day, and I hope you were definitely on the short side of the market, and I will catch you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.
Thank you for watching. Please post any questions you have in the comment section. Also, do not forget to like and share the video and subscribe to the channel. To find us on Twitter, Telegram, and Facebook, use the username NiftyBN. Also, we post some of our trades to the community tab, so do not forget to check that from time to time.